My name is Jasmine,
And I'm Joan.
and welcome to Westchester Children's Association's Advocacy Training 101. This training is for parents and guardians of Westchester's children who are involved in the justice system.
And the staff who work directly with these youths.
So let's get started.
Westchester Children's Association is a multi-issue children's advocacy organization founded in 1914. This training is one of the many things we do to support children and youth in the county.
This slide lays out what our goals are for the training. As you review the overall goals, consider a challenge you face and want to change when you advocate and support your child or a young person in your charge.
What is advocacy? Advocacy means taking action to create change. Advocates help give people ways to speak out about their or others' interests, desires, needs, and rights. This happens at two levels. One, the individual level, meaning you're taking your or others' experiences to make change, and at a system level, where one uses policies affecting many people, such as the criminal justice system, school districts, and laws as foundations to create change. At Westchester Children's Association, our work is driven by advocacy. For example, our strategy for our Youth Justice Initiative is Strength in Numbers. Since 2013, we have collaborated with broad, nonpartisan coalitions as the Westchester lead for a statewide campaign. We have educated, empowered, and mobilized the public and decision makers to raise the age of criminal responsibility from 16 to 18 years old. We incorporate members of our community through meetings, public campaigns, and many other resources to gain more support. This timeline shows the success that comes when we use our voices and work with others to advocate. In 2013, there were 948 arrests made of 16 and 17-year-olds in Westchester County. Fast forward to 2019, when New York State officially raised the age of criminal responsibility to age 18. Because of this law, 50% fewer arrests of 16 and 17-year-olds have been made. Advocacy drives real change.
Now we get to see what advocacy looks like in real life. Teachers, peers like a friend or neighbor, social workers, faith leaders, politicians, mentors, youth, or even you can be an advocate. We are advocates every day when we return something at a store or ask for a raise or promotion at work. The following videos will demonstrate what advocacy looks like.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. I have a lot of concerns for Jason, and I really appreciate you making time to see me in person instead of a phone call, just so that we could address these concerns that I have and make sure that we have all necessary steps to be prepared to.
It's good that we discuss what's best for Jason. So can you bring me up to date on his court case?
Yeah, so he has a couple more appointments to make. I don't have the dates on me, but when they do get finalized, I'll send them right over. He'll most likely be missing school on those days, and he loves school now. So I really don't want him to be discouraged or to not be as engaged as he normally is. So, and I also don't want his mood to be taken incorrectly or taken the wrong way, and have that discipline also.
So what did you have in mind?
I was thinking something along the lines of him having a lot of support, so if it's you or his coach that can come and check up on him.
Would it be helpful, in addition to talking to his coach, we have a team meeting tomorrow. I can debrief all of the teachers that he'll be seeing. We could also just check in on him, put our eyes on him during the day in a discreet way, because I know that some kids get embarrassed and we don't want to put him on blast, as the kids say.
Yeah.
So we can, check in on him either through text or just, at a class, just to see that he's doing all right and get him that extra help.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I think being private, keeping it that way just would be the best case scenario.
Sure.
And if also you could keep me in the loop on that, you can shoot me a text, give me a call, just so that we're all on the same page. I really would appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you for coming in, talking with us and bringing us up to speed. We don't often get parents who, come in and check in with us. So
Right.
Thanks very much for doing that.
Thank you.
The video we just saw is an example of individual or one-on-one advocacy. The parent made an appointment with the counselor and was prepared with what she wanted the counselor to do for her son. She was being a proactive advocate. Here's another example.
Okay, who's next? Remember, you only have 2 minutes.
Hi, good evening. Give me 1 second. Oh. All right, I'm ready. Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm here to speak about the needs of children in our community. Many parents and children in the community, including me and my child. She's not here. She's fortunately home with my mother. Doesn't happen often. We rely on the community center for programs and activities for our kids. It gives them something positive to do locally and keeps them from having too much free time on their hands, which, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, like for troublemaker kids. I know that there are going to be budget cuts this year, but I really do think that our community should extend the hours of the community center so more children can participate and have more friends. It'd be good for them and their social life. I'm sorry, I'm really nervous. It's the first time I'm speaking in front of a board. I know some of the town board have worked with the community members for a really long time, and children often complain that there's nothing to do in the neighborhood, or even in other neighborhoods that are close to them. Parents also need options for their children for when they're working late or they need a good reason to keep their children connected to others in the community. So that's why I feel like if we extended the hours, it would make a really big difference. I brought some statements. You can have them from other parents who also feel the same way, and you can have them. I'll give them to you right now. Thank you so much for your time and help in advance. I'm really grateful for your support, and I know some of the parents and children are as well in the community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next.
This was an example of system-level advocacy. In this case, the parent was advocating to the town board on behalf of all the children in the community. She came prepared with a written statement, and although she was nervous, it didn't let that stop her. Lean into your nervousness and let that help you. You might also want to bring a friend with you so you know you have someone in the room to support you. Another method of advocacy is through writing a letter or sending an email. Writing a letter or sending an email creates a paper trail of the attempts you made to reach your target. It may prove helpful if you don't get the results you're looking for. What you see is a general template of what your letter or email should include. Some things to keep in mind are to make sure you include how people can contact you. Also, have someone you trust review it before you send it. In the United States, we have many levels of government. These are the 3 most basic. Within each of these levels are even more levels. Your advocacy efforts will likely start at the local level. You can have a lot of success at this level because you can directly reach decision makers. Local elected officials live among us. We might run into a school board member at the supermarket or a city council person at the bank. Just as you seek out support from an elected official, so might they ask for your support for a particular policy they want to pass or a position they take on an issue. They also need your vote come election time.
This flowchart will help us visualize and understand what steps and questions we can consider when we're faced with a problem and want to create a realistic goal. We just watched Jason's mother meet with the school guidance counselor to voice her concerns about Jason missing class and feeling discouraged from doing schoolwork and being active in the classroom. So, her concern is the problem. Why is this a problem? Situations where children are involved in the criminal justice system can lead to high levels of stress. The stress may cause them to act out or even lead to low academic performance. Who would care about this problem? Parents or guardians? Teachers? Guidance counselors? and even the child would care about how they're doing when faced with a large amount of stress. Next, can this be backed up with data? In this scenario, sure. For example, we could research school dropout rates. If we see a clear relationship to how children in the criminal justice system have a higher dropout rate, then this is valid data to prove your point. Who has the power to change it? Principals, teachers, guidance counselors, or even superintendents have the power to make change in schools. What can I do? As a parent or caregiver, you have the power to schedule meetings with teachers or guidance counselors to voice your concerns, similar to the way Jason's mom did. At this point, you've reached your ideal goal. In the scenario, Jason's mom proposed extra help with his assignments and asked the guidance counselor to check in with him and her at least once a day. Sometimes, we have to consider that checking in every day is impossible for the guidance counselor or the coach. So, what are we willing to compromise? Instead of asking to check in every day, maybe the guidance counselor or coach can check in every other day and let you, the parent or caregiver, know at the beginning or the end of the week. At this point, we've reached what would be our realistic goal.
We are in the home stretch. So what's next? Remember at the beginning of this training, we asked you to consider a challenge you face. Now's the time to practice writing that letter, email, or statement to advocate for change. By being the change you want to see, communicate or assert your or your children's interests, needs, and rights. Start with emails, letters, phone calls, or speaking up at a community meeting. Included in your packet is a list of frequently asked questions that describes what is advocacy? How can I use advocacy? Where can I use advocacy? What steps should I follow? Get informed. Visit our website and subscribe to receive updates and newsletters from Westchester Children's Association. Add us to the social media sites that you follow. And don't be afraid to email us.
Thank you so much for being a part of our session. Special shout out to Westchester County's Probation Department for sharing this across the county, and the Westchester Community Foundation for their ongoing support of Westchester Children's Association's work.